So brothers and sisters, in today's video, we are going to learn how we can insert tables in Microsoft Word. Uh, Microsoft Word tables, this is a tool which helps us to organize and analyze data. We use tables to collaborate, manage data, and integrate with other softwares. Like we can create a table in the Microsoft Word and then use it to integrate with other Office packages such as Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and many others. So having a scale on how to insert tables is very important because whenever you are dealing with data, well, regardless of the type of data you're dealing with, be it text or numeric data, you need to have a table, and this table will enable you to structure your data in the way you want and then manage it properly. So I'm going to take you into the step-by-step procedures that you can follow in order to insert tables in Microsoft Word. So to start with, as you can see, here is my interface, Microsoft Word interface. So what you can do whenever you want to insert a table, you need to go into the ribbon of tabs. We said Microsoft Word is made up of ribbon of tabs. We start with File tab, Home tab, Insert, Draw, Page, Design, Page Layout, and so on. So I want you to select Insert. When you select the Insert tab, you get a group of tools, and one of these tools is called Tables. So I want you to go and hover the cursor on Tables, then you click on that. When you click on that, you see that first of all you see boxes, a lot of boxes. These boxes represent the table form of the matrix. Like the first one is a one by one matrix, means that you are going to have a table which has one column and one row. Then the second one is a two by one matrix table, which means that it's a table which has two columns but one row. When you go to the third one, like you have four by one table matrix, this one is a table which is going to have four columns and one row. So all these boxes represent tables, and these tables are in the form of the rows and columns. Now, when you move down, you see another option which is saying insert table. So on this one, when you click on it, you get a small dialog box window that will pop up on the screen. And then on this dialog window, we have some question you are supposed to answer. First of all, they're asking you, you want to come to insert a table. Well, how many the number? What is the number of columns? So this is where you put the number of columns. We said columns. These are the vertical. These are the vertical lines or the vertical data arrangement that move from top to bottom, whereas the row, these are the horizontal data arrangement that move from left to right. So in this case, they're asking us uh, to enter the number of columns and then the number of rows. So we're going to say we're going to put 5 as the number of columns, and then we can put maybe 20 as the number of rows. Now from here, we have what we call auto-fit behavior. Auto-fit behavior tackles things to do with the column width, then the contents, and then the windows. How do you want your table to fit in your Microsoft Word window? Do you want all the content to fit inside the cells, or do you want the table to fit on the window? So I would suggest that you select auto fit window. Then after that, when you're done, you see a button which is saying okay. Okay, meaning that you have agreed with each and everything, and then you are ready to insert. So when you click OK, now you see you have a table inserted on your screen. Now, when you look at this table, first and foremost, you see that we have these columns. Like we have column A, we have column B, we have column C, we have column D, and then we have column E. All these columns, we say these are vertical lines, the vertical data arrangement which move from top to bottom, like column A, B, C. Then we have the rows. These are row one. The first one is this one. Then we have this, all the horizontal lines. So this is how we can insert a table. So in case we are going to describe an object, maybe we can take case study of a person. Now, in this case, in this person, we are going to talk about the name of the person. The person is supposed also to have the age. The person is supposed to have the gender, and then the person is supposed to have the address, and then finally, the person is supposed to be assigned to a class, or we can say this person. We are describing this person in relation to uh, the classes or the school, or in relation to performance in the class, or in relation to employment. So if maybe we say this is regarding the performance, then we can just say the score. So we can put here score. Now here maybe we can get started of a person score in math. We want to describe the person, how the person scored in a subject called mathematics. So these are going to be called the headers. We call this one headers. All these are what we call the headers. Now, the name, this is where you type the name of the person. For example, the first person is called Alex. What's the age of Alex? We can give 34. The gender is male. Address, we can say address is Magnolia Avenue. Magnolia Noria Avenue. And then what was the score? He got 56. So now you can see that we have an object called a person, and this person, we are trying to study the person behavior in relation to this score in mathematics, but whereby we capture the name, the age, and then the gender, the address, and then the score. So when you look at this, you realize that we have a table which is helping us to organize our work accordingly. Like even if you have 1,000 students, 1,000 names of students, then these students can be organized. Like you can have the names. Like for example, here I have another name, say Baraka, and then Baraka is having say 23 and is a male, and then he's staying maybe in San Diego State Diego State University, and then the score he got 70. So you can now see I have now two people, or two persons, and all of these guys, they have different attributes. They have different things which describe them, like the age, like the gender, address, and the score. Now we use the table to ensure that we manage and analyze data. We're going to see how we can do data analysis, how we can sort data, but first and foremost, we use this to manage data. And a table gives us an interface which is user friendly, whereby anyone can easily see, understand how data is structured, and also use the data in the table. We can also integrate this table, like you can select this table and then integrate it with other packages such as Microsoft Excel. We can use the data in the table to come up with charts, such as a pie chart, such as a bar graph, such as a line graph. All these are what we call how. All this is how we can use tables. So whenever you are coming up with a table, the first thing you have to do is to go to Microsoft Word, uh, open the Insert tab. When you open Insert tab, click on the table tool, then you see an option for Insert. When you click on Insert, you get this dialog box window where you put the number of columns and also put the number of rows, and then select auto fit behavior. After that, then go ahead and click OK. The table will be inserted. After that, you can start entering data. After entering data, we have different things we can do on the table. Like when you select the table, we have another tabs that it comes in the ribbon, like the table design and then the layout. You can see you can come up with different table styles, the borders, the style option. Then we also have the layout, like layout in form of the rows and columns, how to insert a new row and column, how to merge different cells, how to deal with size, alignment, and data. So all this is what you can get. So for example, when you look at this, I have how many columns? I have one, two, three, four, five. I have five columns. Now, if I want to insert another column, like you can select one of this cell and then right click, then you get a list of options and one of them is insert. So when you go and hover on insert, you get another option on your right that is asking you want to insert a column to the left, to the right. So in this case, I am going to say I want to insert a column to the left. So when I insert a column to the left, then I can go ahead and put, say, index number. Index number. So after that, so this one, the first unit can have index number 001. Then I can have another one 002. So these are the index number. What is an index number? Or any number is referred to as the primary key or a unique identifier which help to identify an object in a certain string of data. So now from here, we can also structure this by reducing the size. When you reduce the size, now of course you have to go to the home tab and use the formatting tools which are available, like the font size. We can reduce the size of the table and also the content. We can make sure that we structure the rest of the data. We can remove them from the board and leave the headers only to be in the board. So now, as you can see, I have my table already inserted, well organized, with different headers and the different some objects already inserted with different description. Like the first person, which is Alex, we have the age, the gender, and so on. So after allowing you how to insert a table, there are other ways we can come up with a table. So first of all, I'm going to delete this one. How do I delete? You go and press the cursor on the left corner angle of the table, then select the entire table. Once you select the entire table, you see an options that will pop up just on top where you are supposed to insert, delete, comment, and so on. So in this case, you are going to delete. So I go ahead and select delete. Now, when you select delete, you get the option. They're asking you, do you want to delete cells? Do you want to delete columns? Do you want to delete row? Or you want to delete the entire table? So it's up to you now to know what do I want to delete. Because a table is made up of all this. It's made up of a cell, it's made up of columns, it's made up of rows. A cell is the intersection of columns and rows. Columns, these are the the vertical lines which move from top to bottom. Whereas the rows, these are horizontal lines which move from left to right. And then a table is now the combination of all the cells, columns, and rows. So now I'm going to delete the entire table. So I go and select the last option. So when I do that, when I click on the delete table, my table will disappear. Now, the other way I want to show you how to come up with a table is by using what we call a draw table. A draw option is a method which helps you to design your own table by drawing the cells, rows, and column borders by yourself. So you don't have to use what? The column where you enter automatically the number of columns and then the number of rows. So in this case, I am going to select draw. When you select draw, you get your cursor turns into a pen. Now from there, you can first and foremost draw something which look like a rectangle. When you draw something like this, now you realize that I have one cell, one big cell, which has one column and then one row. And now from there, you can now split this cell now, by drawing different columns, as you can see, when you want to draw, you have to you press the pen on the top of the line, exactly in the center of that line, which is representing the column. When you then after click on your mouse and then you start drawing, you draw the line just the way you draw with a ruler in your books. You need to have the skill of how to draw these lines so that you don't miss. The lines we are drawing, they represent columns because we say the columns, these are the vertical lines which move from top to bottom. So as you can now see, I am drawing different columns on my table. So now when you make a mistake and instead of drawing a line, you get something like this, then you go and press Ctrl Z to remove that and go back to the first step. Then from there, you can go ahead and draw all the columns that you want. And go ahead and draw all the columns that you need. Then after drawing the columns, now you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 columns. So I'm going to get the first row. Of course, we have one row, but we have to divide this row into different rows, like splitting the row into different other rows. So I'm going to click on that line, the vertical lines. Then from there, I'll go ahead and move that. See now from the first one to the last one. See how how I'm drawing. Then after this, now the first this column, I mean this row has been created. Go ahead and draw another one. Go ahead and draw another one, and then another one, and then get another one, and then I get another one. So now from here, now you can see I have columns and row. When you are done, double click anywhere in the middle of this table. Double click because we want to remove this pen. We want to remove the pen that we have been using to draw. So to remove that, you have to double click on your mouse. Get your mouse like this, and then from there, double click. You have to click on your left side 2 times. Lefty click 2 times. That is double click. When you double click, now the what? The pen will disappear. Now you remain with now the cursor. Now with this cursor now, you can now go ahead and adjust your table, select the whole table, then go to the home tab. Then from home tab, you can increase the size of the table by default. Make the size to be, say, to be 14, maybe 20, and then from there, um, yeah, you can have that. Then you can also adjust the size of the columns, the size of the row by default. So like now you see I have column A, I have column B, I have column C, I have column D, E, F, I have E, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Mhm. These are different columns. These are different columns which I have created. So I can say A stand for the name Alex, A stand for the name Amina, A stand for the name Adea, A stand for the name Annette, A stand for the name Anna, A stand for the name Alio. So what does B stand for? We assume that all these B are they are what we call like a entity which has different uh, attributes. For example, like A, we assume A is a letter which represent all the names that start with A. Like B is a letter which represent all the names that start with B. We can say we have Baraka, we have uh, Ben, we have Berry, we have Barnabas, we have Bena, then we have Byron. What about C? We have Charles, we have Claire, we have Mia, we have Catch, we have Cap, we have So don't mind about the names. I'm just trying to show you like how you can do that. So you can now go and represent different objects which start with the letter which is Z in the head. So after that, you can now select like all this data. You can remove it from the board. After that, you can also go to sentence. I mean the case, the sentence case, and then capitalize each word, and then from there you can go ahead and also adjust and check the spelling depending now on the word software that you are using. You can always do all this at your right time. So from here, I can go ahead and delete this. If I want to delete these other cells or these other columns, what I'm going to do, you highlight all of them, starting from the first one, which is Z, D, then highlight each and everything. Then when you select, then you get this option will pop up on the screen. Then you select delete. Then when you select delete, now you will get another other option that are asking you to delete the cells or columns. Now when you select columns, it's going to delete all the columns, and then you remain with column A, B, and C. But when you select delete the row, it's going to delete all the rows, because you can see the my selection is now covering all the rows. So you don't have to make a mistake. You have to select the columns. When you select the columns, only the highlighted columns will be deleted, and then the other one will be left untouched. But when you select the rows, it means that, well, it's going to delete all the rows highlighted. But then you can see a row has the start and the end. This is the beginning and then the end. So you have to always make sure that you be very careful when you are dealing with tables so that you don't mess up. So I'm going to select to delete the column. So when I say delete the column, now that part will be removed, and then I will remain with this. So I can now go ahead and adjust and adjust my with the width of the column, and so that the names can fit there, can fit there. You have this, I have this. So I have like Alex, maybe you can put in bracket, go ahead and put in bracket, Alex is 34 and is a male. You see, go ahead and put Amina. Amina is a 26, comma, is a female, is a female. So now you can see how I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to expand the data values. You can also go ahead and uh, reduce the size of this, the contents, the text values, so that you know they can fit. Now you can see how I'm trying to expand more values for these names by giving them different attributes. So I can give Alex the age to be 34, the male to be is a male by gender, and then you can put address maybe San Diego, San Diego, and then can put the score. People got 89. Can get male San Diego. Yeah. Now you can see how everything is done. I have this person, which is called A. That is the names that start with this an object which is represented by A, and A is going to represent all the names that start with A. Then after putting the name, then you go ahead. You can open the bracket. I said a bracket is called a parenthesis. We have the open parenthesis and then the close one. Then what is inside is what you call the argument, or the description of what is outside the bracket. So in this case, I have Alex as an object, but what describes the Alex? What are those attributes of Alex? We have the age, such as 34, we have the gender, we have the address, and then we have the score. When you go to Amina, you do the same. They are the same. You can also do that for all these names. So our main target is to show you how to draw. We have seen how we can draw. Now, when you want to draw when you are already in your table, and then you want to go ahead and bring the pen again and you want to draw, You go again to insert, then select table, and then select draw. Now your cursor will change into a pen again. Then from there, you can get any of this cell so that you can divide. Like you can see, I have divided this one into two. So I have B, but then this cell has been split into two. You can split it into three or even into four times. So you can now say I have one, two, three, and four. This is how we can use this tool of drawing a table. Drawing a table is something which I like because it gives you a decision. It makes you to have that decision. It makes you to have that decision of doing what you want and drawing a cell where you want it to be, drawing coming up with a column where you want it to be, or even a row. You can always play with your table data. You can structure the data the way you want, so that they look meaningful and well organized. So I'll go ahead and delete this by selecting that. When I select the whole entire table, I check on this option, and when I click delete, have to select the table because I want to delete the table. And then after that, the table will have to move. So when I go back to the insert tab and then I select table, we have the other option which is called Excel spreadsheet. Now when you select Excel spreadsheet, you get an Excel table within a Microsoft Word. I repeat, when you select Excel spreadsheet, you will get an Excel interface within a Microsoft Word. This is what we call the Office packages integration. Like now I have this, I can put here and say the name, and then I can put here uh, say math, and then put here SST, then I can put here English. So now I can go ahead and structure this and put it into increase the size and make it bold. Then I can also go ahead and put this into a table. I can create a table from here, go to insert and select table. And then the table my table has header. I want the name math to be headers. And then you can see if you are to remember when I talked about um, the range in the Excel, we said a range the is a region which is containing certain data values, and as you can see, I have this range from A1 to F9. A1 is the starting from cell A1, that is column A, row 1, to F9, that is column F, and row 9. Then when you press OK, now here you will have what? You will have a table created. Then you can go ahead and put the border, go ahead and select the border or borders. Now you have the table created. So I can put here the first person as Alex, and then I give the person mark 56 in math, 78 in the SST, and then 80 in English. So I can go ahead and make the total values. What's the total values for Alex? Total values, I can use equal sign, then I use the sum function. When I type the sum function, of course, Excel, by me typing equal sign, Excel will know I want to do calculation. So it will go into the function library and then look for the function I'm looking for, which is the sum. So when I put the sum function, Excel will know that I want to add all the numbers in a certain range of cell. So after that, then I'll go and select this, and then I put a comma. I select that one, a comma, and then that. Then I close the bracket. Then when I press enter, now you can see I have 214, and then you have zeros. These zeros meaning that the formula has been adjusted or has been pasted or adjusted to the other cell automatically. So for example, if I put another name of the person, say Baraka, and then I give the person marks like 78, I give 78, then I give 84. Now you can see automatically the title will be calculated.